Well, hello and good afternoon. My name is Dr. Jeff Newsiard, and we're going to talk about a topic that used to be very taboo. I started pioneering this years and years ago. Nobody wanted to talk about erectile dysfunction, and thanks to the internet and social media, erectile dysfunction has become a very popular topic, unbeknownst to me. I did not wake up one day and said, I'm going to go get a PhD and I'm going to make a living fixing broke penises. That's what I'm going to do. It didn't happen that way. At 40 years old, I woke up and realized, man, is my brain sexual, but my body doesn't want to work with my brain. Can anybody relate with that? I really want to get into this moment, but I'm scared to death, man. Don't act like you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, because you damn sure do. I know we've all been there, done that. Bought the t-shirt, and most of us threw it away because we don't ever want to go back to that embarrassment, humiliation, and the fear that we give into of, what if I don't perform? What if it doesn't work? And unfortunately, up until now, all we have are topicals and things to rub on there and pills to take, PDE5s and all these things. And all those are temporary fixes. I'm very proud to say that out of pure necessity and survival, I sold everything I had and I dove into research and development and said, I got to fix this. I don't do drugs and I hate surgery. I can't stand Western medicine. Sorry if you're Mr. Prescription Writer or Mrs. Prescription Writer. I am not about treating symptoms. Our bodies were designed to regenerate themselves, and it's been proven. When you cut your hand, your body doesn't glue your skin back together. It regenerates epithelials to mend the wound. Our bodies are regenerative. So the more I dug deeper into this, I started realizing that sexual dysfunction is a thing of happening all the time. It really is a thing in our society today, and there's so many things behind it for men and women. We all go through these things. We have issues, whether it's fear, emotion, whatever it is, but all these things add to our sexual dysfunction. Could be a relational problem. I have a lot of patients that come into the clinic and they say, you know what, since I've been getting treated here, I'm able to get erect and maintain an erection, all that's good, except when I'm with my wife. Okay, we have a common denominator. I wonder what the problem might be. Just saying, right? And those are kind of difficult conversations. Could be a physical thing. That's what we fix, the physical part of it. Physically, people say erectile dysfunction is not fixable. Thus, all the PDE5 drugs that are most rampant drug on the market, and the pumps and the topicals and the things to temporarily give you a good weekend, so to speak. But when you've been married a long time and you've got a long-term relationship, the good weekends need to be good days. They need to be often. They need to be part of the intimacy. And you're not able to do that because of a physical problem. People say, well, I'm just too old to have sex. That's for the young people. Not true either. You're never too old to enjoy intimacy with your spouse. Our oldest patient, 85, and his wife, 82, been married 60 years, went 20 years without sex, came into the office and said, we miss this so bad. This is part of our... They acted like they were 16-year-olds at band camp or something. They couldn't keep their hands off each other, but couldn't perform. Do you think you can help? Yes, we can help you. And that's what we do. First, I want to talk about how does this happen. People say erectile dysfunction is because we get too old. Maybe true, but my research found out something different. Western medicine has been teaching that as we age, we lose our hormone production. I found that to be false. What happens is we lose our hormone production, and that activates or triggers the aging process. If you'll just think for a minute in your mind of your body like your electric panel at home with the breakers in it, okay? What happens is when your testosterone level, which testosterone is like oil to an engine. If my engine is half full of oil, will my car run? Sure. Could I run around town? Could I go grocery shopping? Absolutely, no problem. But the harder I push that car, the longer I drive that car, that oil breaks down thinner and thinner and eventually breaks the motor, okay? Testosterone is that to the human body. I'm using round figures, but let's say in your prime, your testosterone was 1,000. We start losing testosterone by about 2% a year, somewhere in our 20s. It happens, could be at 20 years old, could happen at 30, but somewhere in our 20s, we start losing testosterone production. Let's say that it's down to about 500. It opens the door to your electric panel and starts turning off breakers one at a time until the final breaker is turned off and we expire. That is the aging process. So our testosterone level activated that process. In a perfect world, we could monitor, get a baseline in your prime, start doing hormone replacement earlier, and monitor and have a much longer aging process. I mean, this is something that took 15 years to prove, and I've proved it through clinical studies and other things that have plenty of science to back it up. I better hurry. But what happens when your hormones drop low enough? What happens, that hormone drops low and it flips your switch. Next thing you know, you're in the aging process. I'm going to fly through all this stuff because I only have 15 minutes and I want to get to the good stuff. With men, flaccid and erect, let me explain to you this. The first breaker that gets turned off in the male, or in the human body, male and female alike, is your production of collagen. People say, well, what does that have to do with erectile dysfunction? Everything. Blood flow is not the cause of erectile dysfunction. I've proved it over and over. All the PDE5 drugs do is continue to bring blood flow in, but every patient, everyone that comes in says, you know, I've been on Cialis 5 years. It's worked great. In the last year, it don't work at all. I'm sure you've heard that before. I'm sure you've probably tried it before, and it's not working like it did. It's not because we got resistant to the Cialis. It's not because we got resistant to the sildenafil. It's because our collagen has begun to break down. Women notice it first because they're in the mirror every day saying, where did that line come from? I didn't have that wrinkle a week ago. Man, we don't care about them things. But what's happening is the spongiosum in the corpus cavernosum that's designed to absorb that blood is held together, and the health of that sponge is collagen. As your collagen breaks down, that sponge begins to get stiff, not in a good manner like we want, but it begins to become unabsorbable. Blood keeps going in to prove that. You've been on Cialis for 5 years. It's not working now. But when you take it, do you get a little firmer? Yeah, okay, so blood is still flowing in. The pills work. They dilate the vascularity, but the sponge is broken. It's not absorbing. So when this hit me, I thought, well, I know how to fix collagen. I got a master's in laser physics. I know exactly how to do that. They've been doing it since 1980. Women go in to get laser procedures done on their face to fix the collagen in their face. You know what I'm talking about. So there's got to be a way to fix this. So I kept digging deeper and reading every paper I can find. And again, I can't waste too much time on this. I don't have that much time. But you'll see that I can cite and quote and give you all the backdrop of this. It all comes back to collagen, every bit of it. We notice when you're testosterone deficient, there is a big deficiency in collagen in the human body. 2 papers here that I quoted, amazing. And this research went on for 15 years to where finally I started getting results. And I said, hey, I'm going to do a clinical study. Did a clinical study of 250 men, 97.2% regained full functionality, ranging from age 52 to 75, hadn't been able to get an erection or maintain the erection. The first symptom of erectile dysfunction is not, I can't get an erection. That really doesn't happen. What happens is a man will say, I can get erect, but I can't maintain it. I can start the process, but halfway through, it's gone. That's because the sponge is not activating the bulbospongiosus muscle that locks down and holds the blood in the sponge until orgasm. The sponge has to get full enough to activate that muscle. So how do we fix all this? Number one, we have to create angiogenesis because the blood vessels in the penis respond. Mr. Sponge, you're not absorbing all the blood we're sending in, so we're going to get a little atrophy here to send less blood volume in. When that happens, the sponge still doesn't absorb it because I don't care how little or much you're sending in, the sponge is not working like it did. The collagen level is bad. So what do? We have to create angiogenesis to get rid of those atrophic vessels and create new ones. Then we have to create new sponge tissue and remodel the collagen in the sponge to make it healthy. How do we do that? Through a series of treatments known as Regen Max. And I'm flying through a lot of this stuff. Again, women go through the same thing. The only difference between a clitoris and a penis, they're the exact same thing, is one has a urethra, one doesn't. So the patented program of Regen Max, which is what I'm getting to the end of here, covers both men and women, and we treat male and female the same, and we're getting 97% success rate. You know how many women I talk to that wish their husbands would get ED? Because they don't want it. They don't want sex anymore. It hurts. I don't have orgasms. There's nothing in it for me. I don't want to do it. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. I just want to go to bed. I'd rather play dominoes. Whatever. I hear all the excuses, and it's because their sponge is broke. Not only is their sponge broke, but the vaginal walls, that mucosal tissue that is lined with rugae that generates the wetness, has gone through what's called vaginal relaxation syndrome, which I've got that in here somewhere too. I'll get into all this in a minute. And the walls of the vaginal canal have fallen because the collagen is dried up. Regen Max is the only patented cure in the world, and here's the steps. Again, come by the booth. I'll be here all weekend, and I want to talk about it. The whole goal for this is I can only treat so many people in Colleyville, Texas. Right now, we have 20 physicians around the country that have a license to use this protocol. We do all the training. We give you all the science. We give you all the marketing. We give you everything you need to make this work. The beauty about Regen Max is it's cash pay, $10,000 procedure. We're averaging 10 a month in our office. Very little marketing that goes into this. It's a problem. 50 million men in America admit to erectile dysfunction. I wonder how many million don't admit to it. Because every place I go, and people, what do you do for a living? Oh boy, that opens a can of worms, right? So then I start talking about it, and they go, well, I don't have that problem, but my friend does. And I hear this all the time. So 50 million is reported to have erectile dysfunction. In this room, I'll bet a whole lot of people, when I start talking about this, kind of perked up and went, well, that's me. And they don't even think you have erectile dysfunction because you have sex 5 times a year, and you can rise for that occasion, but not the rest of the time, right? It's a problem, and it's not designed to be there. It's totally reversible. Sex after 50 is more vital and valuable to your human body than sex is before 50. The things that take place in your body during sex, chemical releases and things of that nature, mentally, emotionally, and physically, are extremely important. Sex is something that we should not put on the shelf, folks. So now there is a regenerative 97% success rate with over 3,250 patients have now gone through the program, completed it, 97.2% successful. You're not going to find that anywhere else. It works. It happens. I want to talk to you about it. It's tax deductible, the Section 179. I'm here to talk about it. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great